selanjutnya untuk yang terakhir kita punya pemaparan di Teknologi Conference dari Huawei selaku perusahaan penyedia infrastruktur teknologi informasi dan komunikasi dan juga perangkat pintar global yang terkemuka. Pastinya sangat concern ya mengenai Smart Society 5.0. So for the next presentation is on 5G Empowering Smart Society that will be delivered by Mr. Yong Kim Sang as Senior Managing Consultant from Huawei. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Yong Kim Sang.
Hi, good evening. I'm Yong. I'm from Huawei. I'm actually the managing consultant for Huawei. What I'll go through with you today is 5G empowering smart society. All right. Let me just quickly go through the agenda. These are the three key areas that I will cover this evening. One would be the global 5G development. Another thing is that 5G enriching citizen lives, as well as 5G driving enterprise automation and efficiency. These are the three key areas that I'll be covering. So let me just go through the 5G development across the globe. What is actually happening across the globe on 5G development, all right? Now, the first thing that you can see from here, as far as 5G development is concerned, it is actually much faster compared to the development of 4G previously. Over here, you can see that 5G in 3 years is equals to 4G in 5 years, all right? So as of today, or as of 2023, we have more than 240 plus 5G network operators. Across the globe, at the moment, we have about 200 countries, all right? So you can see that you can see that currently there's about 240 plus networks that are already on 5G, all right? And in terms of 5G subscribers across the globe at the moment, you can see is exceeding 1 billion, all right? In China itself, we have already more or less hitting this number of 1 billion in China. All right. One of the key reasons why is because in terms of the 5G handphones, it is becoming much more affordable at the moment. And there are many models that we can see over here. There are about 800 over 5G phones, 800 over plus 5G phones, all right, different models. Now, in terms of 5G networks, in terms of the launches, is actually 2 times faster over a period of 3 years, all right? And in terms of user development, it's 7 times much faster across the globe compared to 4G previously. Now, some of the key operators across the globe, all right, like for example, China Mobile, they have already launched the 5G since 2019. And as of now, they have about 600 over million subscribers actually on board on 5G, and they have about 1.2 million sites in total, all right? Then, of course, we have Sunrise in Switzerland, as well as DU UAE, who has also been very successful in terms of generating new revenue stream for the operators, as well as increasing their ARPU, all right? Now, what is the 5G impact on smart society? 5G has a lot of impact, okay, not only in terms of business side. So it has actually impact on all these areas. For example, driverless cars, education, healthcare, ports, and many, many other verticals, all right? The key reason why is because with 5G, you can actually connect many, many sensors and devices together, all right? And on top of that, it is able to provide very, very high speed. We are not talking about 100 Mbps from end users perspective. It can actually go up to 600 to 700, or in some countries, it can even go up to 1 Gbps speed, all right? And on top of that, it actually provides very high latency, all right, especially for users that actually plays a lot of games, all right? In terms of latency, it's actually much, much lower compared to 4G. And of course, for devices, it is for 5G in terms of the connectivity, it is much faster and it is much more efficient. As a result of that, it actually results in ultra low power consumption, especially the IoT devices. Right? Next. Okay, these are the key building blocks for for 5G on smart society. 5G is actually the network itself is actually the core. All right. Then cloud IoT and AI actually revolves around this 5G connectivity to serve all these different verticals. All right. So that's why we say that 5G actually enables all digitalization for all industry and support the development of smart society. Okay? Now, the next thing is that you will be asking me, so for 5G, what can I do with 5G? Because Indonesia has not launched 5G at the moment, what kind of services that it can actually provide? All right, just let me quickly run through. All right, so how does it enrich the citizen's life? And what are the kind of services that we can expect? Traditionally, let me just give you an overview of what 5G can do for consumer business. All right. Now, just give you an overview here. You can see that over here, these are your some of the services like, for example, voice call, all right, SMS. Those are traditional way which we have been using for 4G, all right? So the new way at which we are seeing is that what will 5G bring in terms of calls and SMS over here? We have some of the new services that you can expect later when the operators launches the 5G services. Some of them include 5G ringback tone. Anyone uses ringback tone previously on 4G? So when I call, you can hear a sound. Now what happens is that when I call this person while waiting, instead of listening to a music, I will actually see video. He or she can push a video to me. All right, that is on 5G. Second thing is that new calling. What is new calling? I will run through with you some of the pretty cool services with new calling. Now, I understand that Indonesia has done a lot of businesses with China. Communication is a problem sometimes because the other side may not be able to speak Indonesian or maybe English. So with 5G, what is going to happen right now is that the moment you call the other person, he can speak in his own language. In Chinese, through a video call, you will be able to see immediate translation to Bahasa Indonesia, or it can be translated to English real time. All right? This is the kind of cool services that you can expect with 5G new calling, which my colleague will demonstrate later. Third thing is that 5G messaging. Currently, you see only pure text. The next thing what you're going to see is that you can do a lot more with 5G messaging. It will be something, something to do with your WhatsApp. You can even make payment using your SMS. The good thing is that you don't need to install an app. Okay, so your SMS will be this kind of 5G messaging will be native on your handphone itself. All right. And the final thing that you can see for the messaging, you will be able to enjoy video services, no longer 2D or 4K. It will be 3D on your phone. So when you look at your phone, when you watch a video, it is no longer like watching YouTube, just 2D. You will see that that image actually comes out from your phone. All right? That is what you can expect later. This is coming, and there is some phones that are actually supporting this kind of services. They call it as 3D naked eye. It can be a new phone, or later it can actually have a film that you can attach on your screen to give you the 3D effect. You don't need to wear any glasses. All right? Third, the next thing that you can see with 5G, in terms of interactive video, 4K video is given because of the high speed that you can enjoy. 4K, all you need is probably 25 Mbps and above. So With 5G, it can exceed 100, 200 Mbps, so no problem. 4K. Next thing is that you will see free viewpoint. What happens is that with free viewpoint, when you watch your video, you can turn the image 360 degrees. All right, so it will no longer be, you can see only one angle. You can see multiple angle. All right, then finally you have cloud gaming. Cloud gaming no longer need to download on your phone, your Mobile Legends, your, your PUBG. You don't need to download on your phone. You just play it on the spot. And the latency will be much, much lower compared to 4G. Personal broadcasting, this is, TikTok, Lazada, and so on. It will be broadcasted probably on 4K, all right? So the clarity will be there. Finally, you will have AR City as well as Metaverse Store. Let me go to the next page. Just go down. Okay, real services on video ringback tone. Dominic, can you press? Yeah, so this is a demonstration of video ringback tone. A calling B. So while waiting for B to come out, you can see this is actually a video that is being pushed by this person to this person. Okay? This is the kind of experience that you'll be getting. All right? So next thing you'll be asking me, I don't need 5G to do this. I can use it with 4G. True, but if let's say you have a 4K content that you want to push through, then 5G is necessary. Okay? So you can advertise. Those people that have small businesses, you have your small shops, you want to advertise to your prospects, this could be a way, all right, to enhance your business. Okay, maybe you can, then the question is how to upload this content. Dominic, can you press the video and show? Yep, so this is an example of how you can actually upload the video, your clips. Sorry, no sound, I don't know what happened. Okay, so this is, you can set your ring show, upload it. Okay, so when this person called Eric, okay, while waiting for him to pick up, you will be able to see this. Okay, so this is another 5G services on video ringback tone. Okay, next. Okay, this is new calling, which I've mentioned just now, immediate translation. Susan from China called Bruce from UK. All right, you can see how the translations is done immediately. Okay, Susan will see the video call of Bruce. Okay, this Susan, this is what he will say. He will see, this is what he will see. You see, this guy will speak and immediately there is a translation. So you will never be, you can speak to anyone across the globe, even though you do not know their native language. All right? This is one way. That's voice translation. Another one is gesture translation. Some people is deaf, they can't speak, right? So then the next option is gesture. You see, this person is gesture. Immediately, there is a translation that is being done so that the other party will be able to understand what he's actually saying. Okay, thanks, Dominic. So these are some key features that you can expect from the end consumer's perspective on 5G when it's being launched later. All right? Now, smart tourism. What can 5G do for smart tourism? This is AR capabilities, yeah, running on 5G. So you can just take your phone, some familiar historical places, you just take it and hold it like this. Immediately, there will be a virtual guide that will actually come out, something like this. He would bring you and introduce you, the tourist, that particular location. Okay? So these are all virtual. This could be a tourist guide. When you just take a phone, he will explain about the historical places, how it came about, and so on. Okay? Interesting thing is that you can even take photos together with all these virtual people. All right? You can post a selfie together, and then you can post it up on Instagram. Okay? I'm just giving some examples of what 5G capabilities can do. All right. Next, gaming. The next one is very interesting. Gaming is, okay, before you play, just hold on before you play this. I just want to highlight is that now, right now, for when you play games for 4G, you take your phone and you just play it like this, right? Mobile Legend, PUBG, or whatever games, right? You just look at your screen and play. That is not very physical. That is not very active. With 5G, we take it to the next level of gaming. You know, all the things that you fight here, fight there, it is no longer just looking at the screen. You are having the power to, bring about those capabilities. Can you just show? Okay, this is in South Korea, 5G gaming. Now, this is the kind of gaming that we can expect with 5G in the near future, all right? Once the network is ready, because you need very low latency to do this kind of gaming, okay? It is physical, it is no longer just looking at a screen, just play like this, all right? You need to have these devices. I don't know what happened, there's no sound, but in actual reality, there is such sound in the video. Okay, this is the setup, how they actually do it. Okay, okay, fine. Next, can you go back? All right, then the next question is that these are all just now for end consumer. What happens to the different verticals like healthcare, ports, education, and so on with 5G? What can I do with it with a 5G network? Can you come here? All right, so you can see in China itself, China is actually a lot, sorry. Can you go back, sorry? Back, sorry, yep. Okay, in China itself, you can see that a lot of the operators, especially like China Mobile, China Telecom, China Unicom, they are actually focusing a lot on 2B business for 5G because there is really where the money is. And look at all the verticals that it can actually serve, or rather these operators are serving. The manufacturing industry, the mining industry, the port, the oil and gas, the healthcare, and even the electricity, we call it as a smart grid. Okay, let me just go to the next screen and show you. Okay, this is basically giving you an overall view of what in Shenzhen, or what they have actually implemented in China. All right, sorry, back. Can you go back? Yeah. So you can see there is smart ports over here. You can see there's 5G healthcare that they have implemented, smart education, finance, factory, smart grid, even 5G airport, the Daxing Airport in Beijing, as well as the smart stadium. All right? Now, in Shenzhen alone, there are 46,000 sites, 5G sites that they have actually, implemented 5G on. The first use case that I want to highlight is that 5G, what it can do for the 5G ports industry. Can you click on it? One of the key things is 5G remote control of the cranes. Can you click? Yep. All right, so traditionally what happens is that a person needs to operate the crane, he will need to climb up the ladder all the way up to this particular machine to run this or to manage this so they can lift the cargo. With 5G, you don't need to do that. You can operate it straight from your office. So with this, all right, you have all the CCTVs and so on. You operate it from your office here. All right, with this, what is the impact? You can reduce accidents. It is safer. You don't need to pay higher insurance. You don't need people, you don't need guys to do it. All right, you can get girls to actually operate the cranes. Okay, so because it is much safer to work in the office rather than climbing all the way up here. And the good thing is that with this, one person can handle probably two or three cranes. All right, the moment I flip one switch, I can see the other side. I flip another switch, I can see another crane. All right, so that is the beauty of using 5G on the seaport itself. Can you go back to the next? Yep. Next one that I want to go through is healthcare, 5G smart healthcare. So 5G ambulance. Click on here. Now, this is something which some of the countries have already implemented on 5G on the healthcare, especially on the ambulance itself. Why is this important? The whole reason of this is because when a person actually transfer from his house or one hospital to another hospital, sometimes the patient is in critical condition. What happens is they need help before the paramedic needs advice from the doctor, or rather the doctor in the hospital can actually advise what the paramedics can do so that the patients inside there can actually survive through when he is being transferred from the house to the hospital. Okay? With 5G inside the ambulance, the doctor can actually instruct, and as he has clear visibility of what is actually happening inside the ambulance. Okay? So that's one way of 5G application on the ambulance side. Another one, the robot ward round. Okay, so another thing is the robot ward. All right, in the hospital itself, in fact, in Malaysia, we have in Sunway Hospital, we can see some of these robots are actually being implemented. And this is especially during the COVID times because it's very contagious. So what they do is that they actually introduce these 5G robots to serve the patients. Okay. And of course, you have remote consultation and remote diagnosis. All right. Yeah, can click on the remote diagnosis. Yep. So you can actually remotely diagnose what is actually happening and transmit exactly the images back real time to the hospital. This can be done between the clinic and the hospital itself. Okay. With this, you can either consult and you can actually know what is actually happening to the patient real time. Okay? Back. Final one will be the education side. Yep. All right. So 5G, go to the holographic education. Yep. So with holographic education, what actually happened is that this person can actually be in Indonesia. He could be delivering lecture. And over at the other side of the globe, it could be in Singapore or whatever, they can actually learn from this particular person. All right? That's one way of having these holographic capabilities. You need the 5G network is because you need the speed and the latency. All right? So you don't, the professor does not have to be physically in the particular location. So he can actually educate across the globe with this capability. Next, can you go to the VR education? VR education, yeah. No, VR education, yeah. So you can see in, I think in China, this is becoming more and more popular, VR education, all right? So there are a lot of this kind of, in fact, there are a lot of courses, you know, if you go to, what do you call that, the Oculus, the marketplace, they have a lot of this kind of education that you can actually use, that you can actually subscribe to and actually learn, as this will actually enable more immersive experience so that you can pick up the subject matter faster, all right? And a lot of them are using this for, I think, even in the hospital to train the doctors, especially on new equipments, how to use the equipments, all right? And of course, you also have remote education, all right? Where you can actually conduct classes and educate those rural students, all right? So the reason why with 5G all these, you have the speed, you also have the latency. With this, you'll be able to do even more things compared to 4G, all right? I think that's all. Of course, I do not want to go through everything. If I'm going through everything, it will take a lot of time. So that's all that I want to cover. In fact, 5G can also cover the airport, can also cover the stadium, can even cover the grid as well as the factory. All right? So with this, I think, I think I end my presentation here. Any questions on 5G? Yep. From end user's perspective as well as to be perspective. Yeah. That's all on my side that I want to share today on the capabilities of what 5G can do for, from the consumer side as well as for the enterprise side. If there's none, thank you very much for your time. I think that's all.
Thank
Terima
you,
kasih.
Mr. Yong. Kamsahamnida. Tidak lupa kami juga mengucapkan terima kasih kepada seluruh mitra bisnis maupun customer dari Lintas Group, Lintas Teknologi Indonesia, Integra, Pakis, Secure Access, dan juga LT Internasional. Akhir kata, saya Dora Angela beserta seluruh kru pamit undur diri dan kami juga mohon maaf jika ada hal-hal yang kurang berkenan selama acara ini berlangsung. Terima kasih sekali lagi atas kehadiran Anda. Sampai jumpa di acara Lintas Teknologi Solution Day yang ke-7. Selamat sore.